How's it going, bitches? Patrick, that was too aggressive. We've been over this. We talked about this. And in this video, I will determine what I think is Travis Scott's best song based on this website, Uwufufu, the Fufu Dolls, Ufangul, where you fill out a World Cup style bracket and it randomizes and puts songs and matchups one-on-one. And at the end, we'll determine a winner. So in wake of Utopia, I'm gonna fill this out. If you're new to my channel, welcome, have a seat, enjoy yourself, and please subscribe to the channel. And if you are back again and you're not subscribed, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to the channel, but please. And now, let's get to it. So I'm picking out of 128 Travis Scott songs, which seems like a lot, but I did that with the Kanye bracket also. And for copyright purposes, and I'm a small YouTube channel, so I don't know how that crap works, so I'm gonna have the music on mute, but I know the songs. I got this. We're starting off with Hell of a Night from Uwufufu versus Impossible from Rodeo. Although Rodeo is a great album, it's one of the weaker tracks on it, and Hell of a Night for an OG. When you're an OG Travis Scott fan, first mixtape, and you hear Hell of a Night, you're like, oh, okay, this is different. This rapper's going in a different direction, very psychedelic. There's a lot of Travis Scott songs like that. That's how he is. So I'm going with Hell of a Night. Next we have Piss on Your Grave versus Flying High. Two songs from Rodeo. Piss on Your Grave is I thought the song was kind of cool with the whole like heavy metal kind of grunge influence on it, and then Kanye West is just like blurting out "piss on your face, piss on your grave," and just like it's kind of crazy. Flying High is a vibe, is a different kind of vibe, and with his name is Tori Imoa, I believe. Yeah, Tori Imoa is the feature, and I would say that Flying High is just overall a better song. I play "Piss on Your Grave" sometimes in the gym. It's kind of it's a crazy song like that, but I'm still going with Flying High. Next one's interesting. We got 3500 versus Houston Fornication. And Houston Fornication is cool, but I think 3500's overall, even though it kind of runs a little bit too long, it's a great instrumental. Features great too. I'm gonna go with 3500. Next we have Uptown versus Dubai Shit. I'm forgetting how good Uwufufu is actually. There's some good tracks on there. Uptown it's a banger, very dark grunge kind of vibe. He's got these like menacing, like pitched down vocals in the background as well throughout the whole thing. Dubai Shit is also a banger and very catchy. Shit, we're on the fourth matchup, so I'm already kind of stuck. You know, if you asked me years ago, even around 2017, I probably would have said Uptown, but I think Dubai Shit has grown on me more, and I haven't gone back to Uptown recently, so I'm going with Dubai Shit. We got Don't Play versus Yosemite. Oh, we got the two videos too. Yosemite's cool, even though I originally had that like lowered nav feature, and then he had to like re-upload the song. And Don't Play with that's with Big Sean and a bad bitch. Anyway, so let's take that out of the picture, Pat. We gotta pick the song. All right, so it's got that cool sample. I don't know what the sample is, but it's got a nice sample too in the beginning. We got Maria, I'm Drunk versus Guidance. This is a no-brainer here. We're going with Maria, I'm Drunk. Sleeper pick, maybe. That's Sleeper, Justin Bieber feature. We have Basement Freestyle versus Coordinate, and to me, I'm going with Coordinate. Next matchup is Dreamcatcher versus Prayers Up, and neither of these are official. Is Prayers Up? Prayers Up's what's his name? A Calvin Harris song. These are both features. Although, I mean, I would definitely say that Dreamcatcher's, to me, more of a Travis Scott song. Yeah, it's Dreamcatcher. What am I even? Also a great album. Not All Heroes Wear Capes. Now we have another matchup with Uwufufu. We have 16 Chapels versus Wake Up, and Wake Up was just so, I shouldn't say dreamy. That's kind of weird to say, but I'm going with Wake Up. Next up, we got Who What versus What to Do. I think Who What is, probably my least favorite bottom two songs on Astroworld versus What to Do. I'll go back to Gang Gang is a fire song on Jack Boys, and What to Do isn't bad. I'll go with What to Do. Next, we have Green and Purple, which I think is like an unofficial single, versus Antisocial, which is a feature. And I don't go back to either of these songs much, if at all. I mean, Green and Purple I've heard maybe a couple times, honestly. But the fact that it's not a feature, and it's got Playboy Cardi on it, I gotta go with Green and Purple. Again, we're including features on here. Technically a feature, but only one, even though it's short. Yeah, I mean, again, that's a Migos song, so you know what, just off of that. I don't know what's going on with Uwufufu, but keep giving me features. Keep giving me features, Uwufufu, even though only one is good. Next we have Antidote versus No Bystanders. No Bystanders is a good song, but now we're pitting it against Travis Scott's real first hit single that got him mainstream. I mean, Antidote, you know, at kind of the time was a bit overplayed. I'm gonna go with Antidote. I think Antidote's got to at least make it out of round one. Ooh, Stop Trying to Be God versus... Alright, see, this would have been a tougher matchup if it was the original Goosebumps. Even so, I might give it but Stop Trying to Be God. Even so, but it... In this case, and maybe even in the original Goosebumps, I would still go with. That's just a great overall song. The sampling, Stevie Wonder, Kid Cudi's humming. Just pure quality. Now we have Outside versus Hold That Heat. Again, it's a feature, but I would still give it an Outside. Wasted versus Out West. Out West isn't bad, but I'm still giving it to Wasted with Juicy J. Now we have Skyfall versus Motorcycle Patches. I think Skyfall is one of the better songs on Days Before Rodeo. And I remember even seeing that snippet of Metro Boomin and Travis Scott in the studio when they're making Skyfall. It's just a banger. Trap is still bunky, bumping, whatever. It's better than Motorcycle Patches. The trap is still bunky. They got Bad Mood Shit on You versus Saint Laurent Mask. Saint Laurent. Don't mind me. Bad Mood Shit on You. I was just replaying it here, and another crazy song of Al Farrow makes Travis Scott very unique. But I feel like he was trying to do too much on it, and so I'm gonna go with Saint Laurent Mask. You know what I mean by trying to do too much. Now we have Best Man versus Franchise. As far as hit singles go, I think Franchise is one of his weaker hit singles. And Best Man's alright. I think Quavo does a decent job on it too. I'll give the slight Young Thug too. It's alright on there. But I'll give the slight edge to Franchise. We have Quintana Part 2 versus Can't Say. This is the toughest matchup I've seen so far. I'm finessing. And Can't Say is also a vibe, and it features, it's the introduction, I think, for most people. Introduction to Don Toliver. Oh, man. That's tough to beat. I'm gonna go Can't Say, though. I could have went either way with that one. That's me personally, but Can't Say. Can't be mad at Can't Say. Now we have Dance on the Moon versus Jack Boys. Jack Boys is literally like a 50-second intro. So I'm going with Dance on the Moon. Not really much of an instrumental on it either. Next we have another battle of features. Both Don Toliver songs, actually. We have You versus Euphoria. And You's definitely the more upbeat song, and then Euphoria is just one of those songs that gets you levitating. And I'd say overall the performances are better on Euphoria. Again, we have two features here. I feel like this bracket's going to heat up real soon, for getting all these features out the way, but we're talking about Travis Scott here. I would go with Euphoria. You got Pick Up the Phone versus The Plan, which is from that movie soundtrack, and I'm not a huge fan of Pick Up the Phone, but it's definitely better than that. We Pick Up the Phone with Young Thug. Now we have Bands versus Sweet Sweet. Again, if you asked me years ago, Bands is such a banger. It's just a pure banger, but it's not as cool or creative instrumentally as Sweet Sweet. Al Farrow's got a lot of like sleeper tracks on it. Some great songs for his catalog. And I'm gonna have to go back to that mixtape more often. I'm not sure if Owl Failure is Owl Failure is what I am right now. I don't know if Owl Pharaoh is on streaming services. I don't think it's on Spotify. I have to go back to that, but Right now, I'm going with Sweet Sweet. I'm more of a vibes guy than a bangers guy. Well, you can be both, but I would go with Sweet Sweet. Now we have Modern Slavery versus Whole Lotta Lovin'. Whole Lotta Lovin's again a feature, so I'm just gonna go with Modern Slavery. And I think Modern Slavery is somewhat of a better track, but I feel like right now Honcho Jack Honcho, it's been getting favorable matchups because it's not the best Travis Scott project by a long shot. So I'm gonna go with Modern Slavery. I'm gonna vote for Slavery. Modern Slavery. Now we have, like I said, I knew this bracket was gonna heat up with quality tracks, and now we have Sicko Mode versus Butterfly Effect. Two bops. Again, gonna be a tough decision here. Sicko Mode, as we all know, is, I think we can all agree, is overplayed, although it is a sensational song, especially when you first heard it. It was just crazy out the gate. I'm getting distracted by the video now. But I'm not gonna let that doesn't influence my pick, please. I'm above that, I think. So, the whole Drake intro, the beat changes, Sicko Mode is crazy. It took on a life of its own. Took on a life of its own, but again, overplayed to death. Butterfly Effect is, it's funny because I feel like when Sicko Mode came out, you know, I was going crazy for it, and I really enjoyed it more when it first came out. When Butterfly Effect, I was like, eh. But now I'm kind of switching gears on that because Sicko Mode's been overplayed. And I don't know if I'm the only one. I'm sure there's people who think that way. That's how I feel about it. It's tough to eliminate either one of these in round one, but based on now and how I feel about the songs, and the fact that one's overplayed, it kind of goes into my decision here. So I'm going to go with... Yeah, it's I don't know if it's an upset, but I'm going to go with Butterfly Effect. How dare you? Drake's the GOAT. Great song. It's just, you know, we can all agree we can, at points you can get sick of it. Stargazing versus Serenade. This is Stargazing. I think it's Travis Scott's best intro. Next up is Goosebumps versus Yeah Yeah, and this is gonna be Goosebumps. Not much thought into this one. Next we have Go versus the 4 AM feature on 2 Chainz's Pretty Girls Like Trap Music. And I might be going against the grain of what I've been picking, but I feel like this may be a feature that I may actually give a W to. Not that Go is a bad song, but I mean 4 AM I think is the better song anyway. And Travis Scott's contribution is pretty good there, so I'll go with the feature. I'm gonna go with 4 AM. Ooh, we got a battle of Astroworld songs. R.I.P. Screw versus Astro Thunder. And they're 2 slightly different tracks. Astro Thunder a lot more mellow. And I would go with They're both good songs. I'm just trying to think like nighttime, driving in the whip. Just straight up vibing. I'm going with Astro Thunder. Late night. Girl Left You on Red. Or didn't work out at all. I'm going Astro Thunder. Anyway, so now we have Drive versus Lithuania. Lithuania being a Travis feature on Big Sean. I'm trying to remember the album, 2020. But I don't recall either of these songs, to be honest with you. And one is a feature, one isn't. Even though on Drive, James Fauntleroy, I feel like has a stronger portion of the song. I feel like he does a great performance. But overall, as a song, I guess I'll go with Drive. I'm not sure this matchup will mean much later on, but we'll see. Next is Gray versus Where You From, and I had to replay Gray just to make sure I remember what it was. And Gray's cool. The instrumental is kind of cool, but then the second half of the song, to me, ruins it. And Where You From is I think is a good dynamic performance from both Quavo and Jack. So I'm gonna go with Where You From. Forgot to mute. Now we have Meadow Creek versus Go Off. Go Off, again, that's a feature. off one of the those shitty Fast and Furious movies. I like the memes where I see like, oh, when did you lose it when you saw Fast and Furious? Like, at what point or at what scene where you're like, okay, now it's getting ridiculous. I love those memes. But yeah, I've only seen the first 3 before they got ridiculous and we're trying to save the world and shit. So anyway, but to me, Meadow Creek, as unique as Travis tries to sound on there, short and I'm sure now he would have executed a song like that better. I'm gonna go with Go Off though. Overall, I'm going back to it more, and I'd say it's a better song. Now we have Carousel versus Solitaire. Yeah, this is a no-brainer for me. Give me Carousel. Give me the Frank Ocean feature. Give me the vibe. I'm gonna try to speed through these now. Upper Echelon versus High Fashion. Oh, Upper Echelon's a banger. Talk about bangers. Owl Pharaoh's got those experimental tracks and bangers like this, and an Uptown. Give me Upper Echelon. Good features too from 2 Chainz and T.I. Next is Blue Pill versus Flocky Flocky. Flocky Flocky is a feature. I'm not a huge fan of either of these, but I would go with the Don Toliver. Don Toliver and Travis Scott are just they just make magic. It works. I mean, you hear how they both sound. It's very they both have that unique kind of like psychedelic spacey way about their vocals and how they record. Anyway, it's Flocky Flocky for me. I'll give the feature the win there. Now we have Back versus Skeletons, and again, I'm glad to get a no-brainer. Skeletons, there's so much to it. I mean, The Weeknd, Pharrell, the Tame Impala as well. That's such a great track. Block of the Flame versus Drugs, You Should Try It. This is a no-brainer. This is Drugs, You Should Try It. We have Pray for Love versus Ghostface Killers. Ooh, Ghostface Killers is a great feature. I don't say great feature. It's a great song just overall between all the moving parts. But I don't think the Travis Scott feature and performance. Pray for Love versus Ghostface Killers. This is a good feature and overall a good song. Hard ass song. Without Warning, also a good album. Anyway, besides the point, I don't think Travis Scott, his feature and performance is gonna trump the overall experience in the song that is Pray for Love. Again, with The Weeknd and Travis Scott, they work well together too. This is Pray for Love. Now we have NC-17 versus Speaking of the Devils and Angles, which I don't think I've ever heard. I'm gonna go play it now. Alright, it's kind of cool. I mean, he's a feature on it, but NC-17, obviously I've heard that one more. I love that chilling. It's like a dark, cold, winter, Christmas night kind of vibe to the instrumental. And it works very well with Travis Scott's auto-tune and 21 Savage, of course, with his the way he raps. So it's NC-17. Next is 5% Tint versus Overdue. Travis Scott has actually a good performance on Overdue, but 5% Tint, between the instrumental, believe it or not, even the instrumental trumps the Metro Boomin production. To me, on 5% Tint. It's a cool song. I'm going 5%. Got that nice, dark energy to it as well. Through the Late Night versus Wash Us in the Blood. Wash Us in the Blood, it's a good feature. Love Kanye, but it's not beating Through the Late Night. That's the first song with Travis and Kid Cudi. Blew my mind when I first heard it. Was a banger, still a banger. Through the Late Night. The Scotts versus Rah Rah. I like Rah Rah, and I wish there was like an official version that came out somewhere on a mixtape or album. But it's just Rah Rah. I mean, it's just kind of repetitive. And the Scotts is a overall better production too. So Scotts. Now we got MIA versus Backyard. Battle of Mixtape Travis Scott. I remember Backyard being I replayed that quite a bit after I heard Days of Rodeo. I think it's better than... I'll go with it, Backyard. Again, I don't think I'll make it far in here, but I'll go with Backyard. Next we have Honcho Jack versus Champion. Champion, that's the feature on the Nav song. And I know Nav gets a lot of hate, but I think it's a good song, but I don't think it's better than Honcho Jack. Honcho 4. Yeah, I'll go Honcho Jack here. Yeah. The feature's not good enough to outdo Honcho Jack. 90210 versus Lose. Lose is not bad, it grew on me, but unfortunately it's facing against what may be considered like a cult classic, fan favorite. And 90210 was just beautifully made. Next is Moonrock versus Escape Plan. Again, Escape Plan is like a single or a song you put out, went on the radio, and I was never really a fan of it. It just seemed very like the beat. Not only the beat is like simple, it just seemed like a simple like song. I don't know if that makes any sense, but it's like nothing. There's nothing really to it. Whether it's Travis or the beat. So, and Moonrock's pretty good. One of my favorite songs of Honcho Jack. Now we have Never Catch Me versus Praise God, the feature off Donda. I know which song is better. It's Praise God. We're talking about Travis Scott here. It's not a Travis Scott song. But let's do this. Is the feature good enough to outbeat Never Catch Me? I feel like I keep changing the criteria here, because if I pick Praise God, it's gonna be like this Kanye song, which also has a small Travis Scott feature in the beginning, and then you have Baby Keem's feature, which is good as well. So I don't want to keep talking myself into a hole and keep giving these little like, oh well, it's got this bullet point, it meets this, but is it a Travis Scott song? No. So I'm gonna go with Never Catch Me, even though I know Praise God is a better song, but we're talking about strictly Travis Scott. So next we have Black and Chinese versus Saint. We got the Honcho Jack Honcho matchups. Black and Lebanese. That is me. Half of me. I think a lot of people would say Saint, but Black and Chinese is just... It's a real head bopper. And when I first heard it, I was like, whoa. This album's great. That's just good. I'm going Black and Chinese. Banger. I'd go back to it more too. Give me Black and Chinese. We'll give it to Black and Chinese. The Ends versus Niagara Falls. The Ends is a great intro. One of his better intros as well. And it's got the Andre 3000 feature. I'm just going to go with The Ends. Pornography versus Money, Power, Respect. Another unreleased song from the Birds in the Trap era. But even so, I'm going with... I gotta vote for... I'm going with Pornography here. Who doesn't love Pornography? Anyway, we got Highest in the Room versus Let's Pray. Let's Pray is just a feature, and I don't want to see God Did on this. Let's not put Travis Scott in a God Did kind of category. I don't even like Highest in the Room as that much of a single. You know, it kind of ends well, and that's just going Highest in the Room. I'll have to explain it in that matchup. Way Back versus Eye to Eye. Ooh. Eye to Eye is good, but it's not beating Way Back. Again, the beat transition, the hums, the James Harden reference. I'm going Way Back. Apple Pie versus Watch. Look at my Rolly. Yeah, Watch is cool, but I feel like Travis Scott is a little bit forgettable on there, because Uzi and Kanye's verse is kind of a bit whack towards the end. But yeah, I think Travis is not... Like, when I think of that song, I feel like I think of Lil Uzi and Kanye more. And Apple Pie is a good outro. I'm thinking too much about this. It's Apple Pie. I'm gonna go with Wonderful. Let's cut these features out of here. Like I said, The Weeknd and Trav go hard together. Next we have Turks versus Company. Again, a battle of Travis features. Although I really like If You're Reading This, It's Too Late. That's a song that maybe I'd say it's one of the weaker tracks on it. That's just my opinion. And Turks is a banger. is which feature's better, I guess, is the question here. Yeah, I kind of said this earlier about the song Watch. When I think of Turks, I think more of Gunna and Nav, actually. And Company also, I think of Drake, it's Drake's song, but if I go back and I replay the performance, I'm going with we're just going by strictly features. I would go with, he kind of went hard on Company. Next up is SDP Interlude versus Franchise Remix. I wasn't a fan of Franchise the original, really, and the remix didn't really do it for me either. The instrumental to me is just, yeah. SDP Interlude is cool. It's an underrated Travis Scott song as well. Now we have Coffee Bean versus Highest in the Room remix. That has Lil Baby in it. He does his thing, but again, it's not about the instrumental, and just I wasn't feeling that single. And Coffee Bean is although Coffee Bean doesn't sound like anything else on Astroworld. Travis Scott talking about Kylie Jenner being pregnant and all that, and I'm gonna go with Coffee Bean. It's a good outro. Next is Naked versus Gaddy. That's the first time I've heard Pop Smoke. I don't know if it's for most people his introduction, but yeah. Okay. Yeah, Naked. Replaying it, it's kind of weird. I'm going with Gaddy. So really because of Pop Smoke, but I still think it's a better song. Nightcrawler versus I Can Tell, a battle of rodeo matchups, and Nightcrawler is crazy. The Sway Lee, the Chief Keef feature. And the beat is better as well. So, yeah. Nightcrawler it is. Zombies versus Nothing But Net. Again, that's a Travis Scott feature. I had to replay it to remind myself what it even is. And I don't even like Zombies, but I'm taking Zombies. Travis Scott song over that feature. Biebs in the Trap versus First Take. First Take, I wasn't a huge fan of when it first came out, but it grew on me. And again, like I said, this album's just underrated. I think it grew on other people as well, other Travis fans as well. But it's not beating the banger, and it's not beating the banger in the Nav introduction here on Beats in the Trap. I'll just put an 8 in the lead. Give me Biebs in the Trap. Jumping to Quintana versus OK Alright. OK Alright, very interesting production. Schoolboy Q feature as well. Yeah, it ran a little bit too long, but so did Quintana, and I hate that I had to get rid of Quintana Part 2 and now this one, because they're both solid. I like Quintana Part 2 better. In this case, OK Alright, really just cool production throughout that song. So I want to go with OK Alright. I love Schoolboy. And to close out round 1, finally we have The Prayer versus Mamacita. In fact, if I recall, in the video, the video starts off with The Prayer and then it goes into Mamacita. But yeah, Mamacita's a banger. Now we're in the round of 64. We have Biebs in the Trap versus Sweet Sweet. Alright, I promise I will speed through this. I've just got to use my gut here. And I'm going with Biebs in the Trap. Apple Pie versus Euphoria. Give me Apple Pie. Don't even load the video up. Don't even load the video up. 3500 versus Goosebumps. Okay. This will take a little bit of thought. Yeah, Kendrick's features. That's gonna put me over. The instrumentals it's kind of a tie, but I gotta go with the hook is better and the Kendrick feature. What to Do versus the Scots. Lock Up the House. Antidote versus Never Catch Me. I don't like just putting the straight up hit single to go far, but Antidote's better. Skeletons versus Company. Give me the actual Travis Scott song and a better song to me with all the moving parts in it. Next up we have Wow. Drugs You Should Try It versus Marie I'm Drunk. Marie I'm Drunk, that was that song that's been, it's been taken off, put back on streaming services. I think it's only available on like YouTube and shit like that. I think it's not streaming services. I Again, I use Spotify, but whatever. I think it's superior, but anyway, you should try it. And going with my gut here, Drugs You Should Try It is just, it's beautiful, such a vibe. I don't know. I like Drugs You Should. I just like Drugs You Should Try It. You should try listening to it on drugs. I have. Yeah, I'm going with Drugs You Should Try It. That's what my gut is telling me. I can't even talk right now, but I'm going with that. Mamacita versus Backyard, Battle of Days Before Rodeo, and Days Before Mamacita. Outside versus Green and Purple. Mama outside. Going in. Let's keep this thing moving. Pick Up the Phone versus Where You From. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of the single that is Pick Up the Phone. I think there's more to it than Where You From. Give me Pick Up the Phone. We Can Have a Hell of a Night versus Dreamcatcher. Again, one's simply a feature, and Hell of a Night is it's a little gorgeous track. Now it's Dance on the Moon versus Wonderful. Oh my. Weekend in Trav, what a sight. Give me Wonderful. Flying High versus Black in Chinese. Hands on your knees. Pop it for me, please. Two very different songs. Flying High, different vibe though. I think Tori Maud does a good job on it too. Kind of carries the song, to be honest. If you pass the aux, maybe that's the criteria here. If you pass the aux, on average, which one is getting picked? I'll go Black in Chinese. Way Back versus Gotti. R.I.P. to Pop, but I'm going with Way Back. Stargazing versus 4am. 4am, one of the few features I picked here, but it's definitely not beating Stargazing. Beat transition, the vibe, the space, painting a picture of what's to come in Astroworld. Alright, stop talking. We got Moonrock versus Flocky Flocky, and I'm going with Moonrock. We got Modern Slavery versus Honcho Jack, a battle of Honcho Jack songs. It's thundering over here. It's about to thunder over here. That's a sign that I shouldn't vote for slavery. I shouldn't vote for slavery again. Are we going to go back? Are we going to go back in time? I go either way with this. I think Honcho Jack to me is catchier. So that's how I'm making this decision. Slavery loses. Pray for Love versus Go Off. This is not even close. Pray for Love. Pornography versus Duba Shit. Duba Whips. Sticks to my head more. Is it a better song than Pornography, though? Pornography is bad. You know what? We're going Duba Shit. What kind of world? It'd be haram for me to... Not Muslim, but it's just haram to just have Pornography go this far. It's a solid song, solid opener, but I'm bumping. You pass me that ox, I'm going with Dubai Shit all day. Carousel versus Only One. I like Only One. Great interlude. It's not beating Carousel and all that goes with it. The Chance in the Back, the Frank Ocean feature. Travis does well on it too. Wasted versus Can't Say. I like Wasted, but I'm giving it to Can't Say. Don Toliver just kills it and makes the song complete. They just complement each other well. Through the Late Night versus 5% Tint. I'm going with Through the Late Night. I love me some Scots, right? So, Drive versus Okay Alright. Give me Okay Alright. Then we got Don't Play versus Coffee Bean. It's a cool instrumental on Don't Play. It's very interesting. Very, very different in contrast to Coffee Bean. But I think there's more to Coffee Bean as a song. Talking about being written. And the Big Sean features, it's whatever. I mean, Big Sean has had worse verses and features. Don't you play me, don't you try me. The instrumental's cool, but yeah, it kind of lingers a bit too long. Coffee Bean, solid outro with some substance to it, right? Upper Echelon, the banger that is Upper Echelon versus Coordinate. They're both bangers, actually. Yeah, all that, again, it's one of those songs where just all that comes with it. The beat is crazy. Mosh pit style. Trav kills it. 2 Chainz kills it. T.I. kills it. This video is crazy. Travis Scott early in his career was like, he's really trying to be like out there. Now he's more, you know, he's kind of, he's still out there and he's still doing his own thing, but it's definitely not as chaotic. I'm going with Upper Echelon. The more I talked about it, the more I was picking it. So, NC-17 versus Highest in the Room. Like I said, not a huge fan of that as a single, and I love the instrumental on NC-17. Saint Laurent, YSL, Saint Laurent Mask, Yves Saint Laurent versus Astro Thunder. Yeah, I'm going to Astro Thunder. In case you didn't know, from behind me, I think Astro World is his best album. Better than Rodeo, even. I feel like that's a battle between those two. And speaking of battle between those two, what perfect timing. We got Rodeo versus Astro World right here. Yeah, it's 90210. Again, this is one of those things where Casey Hill, that's her name. Just the performance by her, all that goes with the song, the transition, the piano, and just the vibe that is 90210 is I don't know how to describe it. That's probably why it's considered one of his best songs. So I'm going with 90210. But I do like Butterfly Effect a lot. I was kind of close to picking it. Skyfall versus The Ends. I talked about Skyfall, the production. It's catchy, but between The Ends and Stargazing, probably his 2 best intro songs. And unless Utopia's got a better one, but I'm going with The Ends. Now we got SDP Interlude versus Stop Trying to Be God, and it's going to be Stop Trying to Be God. Overall, a great song. Good message too. All the moving parts. I keep saying that. I know I keep saying that, but you guys know what I'm talking about. Very theatrical. Zombies versus Nightcrawler. Going with Nightcrawler. Wake Up versus Franchise. We're going. I already told you about Franchise, how I feel about it, so going to Wake Up. Entering the round of 32. It's gonna heat up, and here we are. We have a terrific matchup from Astroworld. We have Stop Trying to Be God versus Skeletons. Both these songs are terrifically put together and concocted. Pause. It's Stop Trying to Be God. Who are we kidding? Who doesn't love Cuddy? Who doesn't love Stevie Wonder? Now we have a rodeo matchup. Pray for Love versus OK Alright. As much as I like Schoolboy Q and his performance on there, The Weeknd one-ups him there. So I'm going Pray for Love. Biebs in the Trap versus Black and Chinese. This is a fair matchup because both these songs, in terms of like the quality of a song, I don't think both of them are like up there, but they're both just bangers, just kind of fun to rap along to, and they're both catchy. But I'm gonna go with Biebs in the Trap. I'm voting for cocaine here. Okay, first slavery and now drugs. This Patrick kid is insane. PG, you've gone mad. Now 90210 versus Do By Shit. I've gone mad because I've already spent too many seconds doing this one because, again, Do By Shit is a bop, but we're not beating the overall track that is 90210. Pick Up the Phone versus Stargazing. Pick Up the Phone had its moment, but it's Stargazing. Rollin', 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 got me moon rockin'. Moon Rock versus the Scots. A collab, 2 collab songs actually. So this is also an interesting matchup. I'm gonna go with the Scots though. Drugs You Should Try It versus Astro Thunder. It's crazy because my gut immediately goes to Drugs You Should Try It, but Astro Thunder is a good song. It just happens to be head to head with Drugs You Should Try It. Both mellow, both extremely vibey, both kind of put you on a spell, but not as much as Drugs You Should Try It. It's great. Way Back versus Carousel. Way Back's definitely more kind of like dark, skeletal. That's a good word for it. And Carousel's more of like a, it puts you in a, it's like, it like prepares you for the next song, which is Sicko Mode. Because you have Stargazing, and this one's kind of like, okay. And you're just going roundabout with the, I'm being an idiot right now. Being real corny. But it kind of slows you down from Stargazing, and then it puts you in that position to go to a Sicko Mode. That's why I put that album in such high regard. It's just how well that album is made and interesting production throughout. Anyway, I'm gonna go Way Back though. I think one of the better songs that Travis Scott has done, where it goes from transitions from beat to beat. Goosebumps versus Wonderful. Like I said, The Weeknd and Trav do their thing, but is it better than Goosebumps? I feel the Heimlich go to the side. I'm not even gonna try and mimic Kendrick's vocals. That pussy to die for. Actually, now that I think about it, it's also like Wonderful. It feels like it's not mixed well either. I don't know, something about it in that way. So I'm gonna go with Goosebumps, just because of that. Apple Pie versus Can't Say. These are both good songs for completely different reasons. Pass the Aux, on average. I'm going with Can't Say. Can't Say is just a perfect marriage of the sound, of the beat, the vocals, and everything. Upper Echelon, wow, two completely different songs. We have just a rager versus a mellow rager. I don't know how to word that. That doesn't make sense. But yeah, you know what? I'm going with the vibe here. I'm riding with Wake Up. But shout out to an Owl Pharaoh song making it this far. NC-17 versus Coffee Bean. I love the beat on NC-17. It's something about that chilling, like cold kind of instrumental. Now the Astroworld songs. To me, I can't go wrong here. I'm just gonna go with I prefer NC-17. And 21 Savage features great. Quotables in there. Hell of a Night versus Outside. Oh, there's an Owl Pharaoh song left. Yeah, I'll go with Hell of a Night. It's a nice track. That's all I'm gonna say. It's a nice track. Sometimes you just need a nice mellow track. Mamacita versus Antidote. Battle of two bangers. Obviously Antidote was the one that, got him on the radio, started becoming mainstream. That's right, and Young Thug. I almost forgot Young Thug. Like, how could I forget that? It just all blends well together. So Mamacita's winning it there. The Ends versus Honcho Jack. Give me the Ends. Didn't really have to think about that one. Last matchup here. Ooh, we have a tough matchup here. The last one of this round, and maybe the toughest one for me. It's Nightcrawler and Through the Late Night. Great collaboration on both of these. Cuddy on Late Night. Sway Lee and Chief Keef does his thing on Nightcrawler. And it's, yeah. My logic on this one is just going to be, when I first played the song, and even now I get more hype invested into the song when I'm hearing Through the Late Night. Who could forget that day and night interpolation too? Alright, here we are. We're in the Sweet 16. I've made it this far. Way Back versus Biebs in the Trap. Ooh, okay. We got a Birds in the Trap matchup. And I'm going to go with Way Back. Nav made it this far, so I'll think about that. Well, for all the Nav hate, yeah, that's a good song. It's a good feature. That's a song that really put me on to Nav, so 90210 versus Stargazing. Fuck. Shit. There's such depth in what went into making both of these. I hate putting either one of these out. And I know I looked at, like, when you go on a Uwufufu and you see like the poll, like, and I know that 90210, from what I gather on people's opinions on the internet and everything. 90210 is like the majority of people would say that's the best song, and it's moody, great transition. Casey Hill's great on it. Stargazing's it's a vibe. I could play it kind of whenever. Also, I feel like I could play Stargazing in more situations than I can 90210. I'm really talking this one up because this feels like a Final Four matchup to me. I thought so long on this, the video finished. So the video on 90210 finished. Oh god, I like that Stargazing's it's like a world building song, if that makes any sense. It sounds very nerdy, but do you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like when you listen to Stargazing, you're hearing everything, even the outro part. It just feels like you're about to go on a ride on Astroworld, and I appreciate that more than I appreciate what's being given to me on 90210. So call it upset, call me crazy. I'm going Stargazing. I don't care what you think. This is my video, so please subscribe. Drugs You Should Try It versus Pray for Love. Pray for Love is great. Probably the best song between Trav, with the Trav and the Weeknd on it. But does it beat Drugs You Should Try It? I don't think so. So I'm going with Drugs You Should Try It. Hell of a Night versus Mamacita. The bangers one of these bangers has to prevail. I think Mamacita is just crazy pop, crazy catchy. I'm going Mamacita. Stop Trying to Be God versus the Scotts. Great collab and features all around across both these songs. But like I said, there's so much to Stop Trying to Be God. Whether it's the message, the great instrumental, the ambiance that the song provides, and adds to Astroworld. So I'm going Stop Trying to Be God. Wake Up versus NC-17. Yeah, there's something about... That's what's great about Travis Scott is he has bangers. He has the songs that are strictly psychedelic, head boppers, but also mellow and provide I don't want to say haunting, but he can do that too, like a haunting dark aesthetic, or in this case it's more of like a kind of a mellow... It puts you in a trance, let's say that. Hypnotizing, that's probably the word I'm looking for. It's got a hypnotizing instrumental to it, so he can do so many things. And there's songs that even combine two of those things. So I'm talking up a storm, I'm going with Wake Up. The Ends versus Through the Late Night. I got a soft spot for Kid Cudi, and pause. And I just, I don't know, that song it brings me a lot of joy when I hear that song versus The Ends, in comparison to The Ends. Also, Andre 3000's verse, I know he's talking about the story. It's about a kidnapping, or is it murders that happened in Atlanta? I know it's a dark beat and a dark intro. So maybe I can understand why you would talk about something like that, but I don't know. I just feel like it didn't quite fit like a Travis Scott song, if that makes any sense. But nonetheless, Through the Late Night takes the win here. I got scared for a moment. This was taking a while to load up. I've been recording for quite some time at this point. But we got it. We got Goosebumps versus Can't Say. And this is also an interesting matchup. Again, the features really stand out on these songs, whether it's Kendrick or Don Toliver. I gotta give it a Can't Say here. Maybe it's because of again, it's kind of like Sicko Mode, where like Goosebumps got overplayed. Not as much as Sicko Mode, but just got to a point where I'd rather listen to Can't Say. Don Toliver, again, it's just one of those collabs that just work perfectly, and they really complement each other. So I'm gonna go with Can't Say. Here we are, folks. We're in the Elite 8 now. Hopefully I can manage to get through it mentally and not talk too much. I already am. Alright, shut up, Pat. Way Back versus Stargazing. I'm going Stargazing. Stop Trying to Be God versus Wake Up. Stop trying to be God, Pat. And just do it. And I'm gonna go with Stop Trying to Be God. Mamacita versus Can't Say. Oh, come on. I don't want to think too much about this. Both bangers. Yeah, I'll go with Can't Say. Drugs You Should Try It versus Through the Late Night. the Cuddy collab will its way past this round and past drugs you should try it? I don't think so. I'm going drugs you should try it. I was talking about trance. This is one of those. This is that song for Travis Scott to me. So I'm gonna go with drugs you should try it. All right, final four time. Stop Trying to Be God versus Can't Say. And at this point, I feel like either one of these could win the whole thing. In fact, any four of these songs. But you know, we're here. This is my opinion. How I'm feeling at this time. You know, I was saying, as magical as Dawn and Travis are, I gotta keep going back and keep saying this. The moving parts, the collage of sounds and moving pieces in there, whether it's the harmonica from Stevie Wonder, James Blake on the outro, Kid Cudi's hums occurring throughout the first half. It just all works so well. And it's just one of the things you have to admire about Travis Scott and any musician when they're in the studio working together with, you know, iconic, really. So I'm going with Stop Trying to Be God. I'm huffing and puffing. I did this to myself. I mean, this is how it's gonna be when you get to the final stage of a bracket or anything. It's always gonna be like on edge. So these are both kind of I said trancing. These are both kind of entrancing in their own, hypnotizing in their own way. Could both kind of. This is that close your eyes, Jesus take the wheel battle right here. Don't do that, but unless you're on drugs, it's probably when you'd be doing that. Stargazing's great, world building, but overall, I'm gonna go with drugs. You should try it. Mood music. Here we are in the final round. We have drugs you should try it versus Stop Trying to Be God, and I feel like this is actually a perfect matchup in my opinion. Travis Scott being, like I said, that hypnotizing, focusing on being psychedelic and really putting you in that kind of mood. On drugs you should try it. Versus the curation ability of Travis Scott, and that's getting different sounds and different features to work together. He really is a Kanye prodigy in that regard, because Stop Trying to Be God is just, it's like I said, the curation of it, something that Kanye was, something that Kanye would do, and it's a great, it's just an overall great song. But so is Drugs You Should Try It. And we have Travis solo here versus Travis and some great features. Like I said, I at this moment I can't go wrong. This is how I'm feeling at the moment. The video's almost done here on the right side. But I was seeing some like gold hologram of Kylie Jenner is not helping. I'm not a fan of the Jenners and the Kardashians, so that's what I mean by that. So calm down. The song is gold, but not as good as Drugs You Should Try It. And Trav doing it alone, making a beautiful song. Really put you in a mood, as he says in the song as well. So there we go. That's it. So there you have it. The winner of my Travis Scott Uwufufu World Cup bracket challenge, whatever. The winner is Drugs You Should Try It. A lot of great songs in Travis's catalog. As you see, I struggled across each round, but there's just so much in it, and I can't wait for Utopia to come out. Hopefully I put this out beforehand. So thank you for sticking around. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Where did I go wrong? Did you play along with? What songs do you think should have made the bracket if they didn't? What songs should have won? You let me know in the comment section. And if you have not subscribed to the channel, please do so. Please subscribe below. If you like it, like the video. Let me know your thoughts. These are my thoughts. Travis Scott, Cactus Jack, all of you. Stay blessed.